Impala!
Six Impala.
Six Impala.
Whoa. Hello and welcome back to the Six Impala podcast. My name is Kat. I'm here with Script and Underscores. What's up, guys?
Hello, it is me, Script.
Hey, Dan. Great to be here, Dan.
All right, great to be here, guys. Awesome.
I forgot to hit record at the start of the podcast, so now I am a robot.
Today, we have a special episode.
Yay.
But before we
But
jump
you always
into
say that, don't you?
we gotta give a shout out. I don't always say that, actually. Maybe I do. Well,
I'm
I'll
a
check.
fake fan.
I'll make sure. Before we jump into it, I just want to give a quick shout out to our tier 5 patrons for the month.
Patrons woohoo.
Shout out to Boyd, Ghosts, Sir Ghosty, Spidey Stretch, Skrillex himself,
Skrillex.
Soapy Milk,
Wow.
Swoos, Infinity Being, Woozy, and Nippon. I think it's pronounced Nippon. Niypon.
Nippon. Nippon, it is Nippon, I'm pretty sure.
Anyways,
Okay, it is me, Script, and for the rest of the podcast I will no longer be a robot.
we're talking about curry rice. We're talking about curried rice.
Yeah.
Drop
Curry
a
to
like in
rice
this pod
ratio.
if you remember curry
We're talking
rice.
about riced curry.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the curry to rice ratio. Is that ratio actually 101? Today we'll find out. Wait,
But that's not
that's
how
not
ratio.
the song. No, what's the song? Ideal ratio. Shit.
Juice to vodka ratio.
I know.
Ideal
hold on,
ratio
hold on.
4,
confused
1,
two songs.
2.5.
I've already fucked up the podcast. I confused two songs.
4.4 point. That's the ideal ratio.
That's a lot of fours.
That's a lot of
points.
fours.
Hold on,
That's
I'm
the
looking
ideal
for it.
ratio right there.
I'm looking for it right now.
It's 4,
He's
1,
looking-
2.5.
4.2.5.
4,
105.
1, 105.
4, 1. No,
5050
4,
105 105.
4125. That's the ideal ratio.
All right, that's the curry rice ratio. It's 4125.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the I know what that is. That's like the Fibonacci ratio, isn't it? Isn't that what it's called?
No, it's some anime thing.
Yes, but
Yeah, it's an anime thing.
4125, I'm pretty sure is
Yeah,
also,
it's the golden ratio.
Is that not the golden ratio?
I don't think it's the golden ratio.
I'm pretty sure that's the golden ratio.
The golden ratio is like the spiral thing that they put on top of
Yes,
images.
I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I know. I'm pretty confident. I'm like
That's not for.
Hold on. I'm like 65% confident. Like I'm like
Oh,
I'm like
you're right.
on the side of confidence.
Oh wait, okay, yeah, no, you're right.
Am I? Yeah.
You're right.
That was a big gamble, by the way. 65% is not strong, but I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was leaning in that direction. Okay.
So brave.
This podcast is going to be in like an interview format. I'm gonna try to talk less because I talk too much, and I'm gonna let these. Two,
I like it when you talk.
Yeah, I like when you talk to.
Yeah, but I talk too much.
You're a good talker.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Okay. So
Brother.
first question. It's the most important question, so we're gonna get it out of the way. Which one of you is the curry, and which one of you is the rice?
I am the curry.
Was that what it
Devin
was?
is the rice.
I'm gonna go back into the Facebook messages because we did actually come to a conclusion at some point.
Okay. Was there like a reasoning for these positions? These
I don't think so. I think it was just.
damn.
Yeah,
Wait. So who's curry and who's rice again? Let's repeat that.
I am curry. Script is curry and Devin is rice.
Okay. Script is curry.
This is also an important picture because you have to figure out which one is me and which one is
Why
Devin.
did you send that image? Is that
Yeah, there
it's-
it is.
Yeah, that's the logo we made.
We'll put that one in. We
Back in
didn't
the
make that.
days.
We
I'll
stole
put
it
that on
from
the
Google
screen.
Images.
Yeah, I made it from scratch.
It's funny. I'm going through like the Facebook messages, and it's just like, ooh, idea. Let's combine curry rice into one word. And this is like January 6th, 2016 at 7:09 p.m.
Is that when that was it? That was how the name came about?
I'm looking to. We were picking foods,
Like, hold on, you were picking foods like for the name?
and then Nico was like curry rice, and I was like curry rice reminds me of Curry Drinker.
Was this
Jemba
this
remix.
before or after like the whole marshmallow popsicle?
Okay. So here's the. Let's back it up a little bit.
Okay.
I believe Curry Rice started because we got super into like happy hardcore type stuff after we did a remix competition for a song that we both did called Taiyaki. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It's a dubstep
do.
song.
I remember.
It's 6 whole minutes long. And it's, I think, on like the Avian Cloud YouTube channel. You could probably still find it. We had a
Who's it
remix.
by?
We had a SoundCloud remix competition for the 6-minute long dubstep anime song,
Hell yeah.
and we were gonna pick a winner, and we picked someone named Redelia. I still don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what we picked as number one.
Wait, it was your song?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No, our song got remixed.
Yeah, we did a remix competition for
Oh, okay.
the song that we did, and then a ton of people like remixed it.
Okay.
A ton of dubstep people. But then Redelia did like this kind of like J-core remix of it. And like sped it up.
I'm looking for it right now.
And it was like, and then we were like super, super into it. Because everyone else was sort of doing dubstep remixes and they're all cool. But that one was like, we weren't really as into like, I think we were like sort of
I
entry
wasn't
level.
into hardcore music.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were like big fans of like Trekkie tracks at the time, I think.
Yeah.
And it lined
And
up
this
in
is
that.
the one- this is the
sense.
one that,
That's the one right there.
Yeah, this is the one that won.
Dude, I'm seeing this link for those of you at home. Okay, it's got underscores and the U is capitalized.
The U is
fucked
capitalized.
up.
Can you believe it?
It's fucked up.
There's
Actually,
a capital
I'm not-
T in that title.
And I don't think this is this person like doing it incorrectly. I think at this point in time you were spelling underscores with a capital U.
Yes, I would. Yeah,
Which is just- it's
I
just
was
fucked
spelling it that way for a while. Yeah, it's alarming.
It's definitely alarming.
But
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So that
That's
was
it.
sort of the start of it, and I
That's
think
it?
we got like super into like that type of genre. That we were like, well, maybe we could just start a new alias and then try making stuff that's like in that vein.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we went with that.
Damn. So then, so the name was just like you were like, let's come up with a food, and that's it. That's all it means. Is straight up curry rice.
Yeah.
No, it had to be something like Japanese, also weeb. But that was like cool and alright.
Curry rice. It's a good name. Yeah, I'll say that. Like, it's a good name.
I always like told like it looks like somewhat like weird because it's like all together like curry rice.
Yeah, but it like
I'm
it
scrolling
like
through.
is said really really well. Like when
Like
when I say
curry-
it's nice.
Space rice makes more sense to me. It always looked like super weird to me. That's like all together.
I like it all together, because then it reads like a name. That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's
Yeah.
why I liked it better.
Because we
Like,
had it separate first, and then we're like, maybe that's not what we should do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having it together, it reads like a name. The other way, it just kind of reads like the food.
Curry and rice. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So, a few more questions. Do you guys even like curry?
Curry
That's-
rice.
I
is
never
sick.
taste
Yeah,
curry
curry is
ever.
So good, but at the time,
I never had curry.
Yeah, I never had like curry rice as like a dish.
Really?
Like
Yo,
I
when
never
you
gone.
got- okay,
I never
when you
gone
guys
to,
come to
like a
Toronto-
restaurant and ordered curry rice before.
When you guys come to Toronto, we have to go get curry rice. Like,
Yeah.
that's like a thing we have to do. It's on the list of things that must
Sick.
be done.
Curry rice, eating curry rice.
Who
Curry's
would
I
have
love rice.
Never had
Who would
curry.
have thought that?
Brother, curry is so fucking good. It's so good.
I like rice a lot personally. I just never had curry.
Curry is
It
amazing.
doesn't. I don't know how it tastes like, but I know it's like some kind of like hot sauce, whatever.
There's
Yeah,
so many
it's kind
different
of-
types of curries and so many curries in like
Yeah.
different cultures that it's like the
The-
dish curry rice that you could like order off of like a menu. I don't think I've ever had, but I've had multiple different types of curries before, and I've
Curry
had them with
is like what is it made of? What is curry like made of? Because
Googling it right now.
who's gonna hit the Google?
I'm doing it right now.
Hit the goo. Okay.
Complex combination of spices and herbs, usually including ground turmeric, cumin, coriander, ginger, and fresh or dried chilies.
So it's like super spicy.
It's got spice to it, but it varies.
Cumin powder. Paste from other fish ponds.
Bueno, más a tener que esperar.
Coriander, cumin, and turmeric.
Vas a tener que esperar.
Japanese curry is one of the most
Masala.
popular dishes in Japan and is commonly served in 3 main forms: curry rice, curry udon, and curry bread.
That's
To
interesting.
the point that curry rice is often just referred to as curry.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, there's tons and tons and tons of curry places here, so we can totally go find one so that we can have an official curry rice.
I want to have like real
Rice.
ramen, like the actual ramen.
Yeah. We can go to Kinton. Kinton's good.
Wait, well, I gotta send this photo. You gotta put it in.
Kinton's my favorite ramen place.
You gotta put this classic photo in.
You guys making me do work again.
Yes, but this
Throwing
is fourth
photos at
day.
me. Okay. What is it? What is the image? Hold on, everybody. I'm waiting for an image to load. Ew!
It's Sonic Curry.
All right, I'll put it up. Look at this. I hate this.
It doesn't even look like rice. It looks like just slice of cheese.
This sucks.
That's not even rice. What is
ew.
what is wrong the most in this picture?
It looks like they just
the fact
poured
that the
paint
curry
into a
is like
bowl.
blue.
Look,
just poured
and
paint
then
into the
you
bowl.
used the natto, like the little
Oh, ew. This is horrendous. There's another image.
That's not even rice, bro.
you use like the fermented
No, the rice of the eyes.
soybeans with a little mouth.
This is such a disproportionate amount of food to like that's a lot of beans for the amount of rice that's there.
Yeah.
That's a lot. There's not a lot of rice going on in that second image. That sucks. Just be like a soup with some rice flakes in there. Okay.
Anyway, next question.
All right. Next question. What is the future of curry rice? Will we see another project from you guys under the name? Do you think?
Si quieres ir, anda. No sé qué tan difícil entender. Sorry, can you make the question again?
Yeah, I can repeat it. Does the future of curry rice look like? Is it? Do you guys have any more projects that you think you're gonna work on, or is it done?
I think it's done.
I think curry rice is done.
Yeah.
It's done.
I personally feel like like we started it. We were both pretty young. I was like 16, I think, when we started it. And it's like, I think we've grown a lot as artists since then. But it's definitely like fun to look back on. I also sort of have I'm not personally like Japanese. And I feel like we were drawing really heavily off of the sounds and culture from that. And I don't know if we were giving it proper credit necessarily.
Okay.
So I personally feel a little bit distance from it now, but
That's fair.
I do think at a point in time it was definitely, it served its purpose in terms of like musical identity, and it was a fun period making all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I feel pretty distanced myself from it now.
Yeah. I think it's just like a phase thing, when you're like going through something from music, and then you just like move to something else, or grown, or like experience
It's a
stuff
phase
in
thing.
life
It's
that
when you're
change
young.
you. Yeah.
When you're young and you're a weeb, and
Yeah.
you have to make music. Yeah. That's it. That's how it goes.
But then we had like a period that we were like really struggling to put music out
Yeah, there was
because we didn't want it to end,
Yeah,
but at the same time we were not really coming up. Well, I wasn't coming up with anything.
well, because your computer broke. Like that was what did it. It was like about like a
I did?
5 or 6 month period where your computer broke and you were waiting on a new one or whatever.
Oh,
so you
yeah, I
weren't able
remember
to produce with like the same like packs and the same plugins that you had
Yeah.
before. So when we got back together, and that's like, if you go to like the reel we put up, it's just what we've been working on for the past 7 months or whatever. That was mainly like, I had gotten into like a really intense like Porter Robinson live set and also like Valentine phase, and had just made like a ton of like stuff that's sort of based off of that. So a lot of the stuff in there was just like solely like stuff I was making while Nico's computer was broken. But by the time
That's
we had
interesting.
like, yeah, but by the time we had gotten back together and started working again, Nico had sort of, I don't know if he had necessarily like new tools or like had gotten used to like the limitations of not having like all the stuff he used to have, but he had a
Yeah.
completely like new way of production.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, I remember that.
yeah, so like if you go back to like, if there's still like some really old like dubstep stuff up from you, like on YouTube or something like that, there's like a clear
There
difference
is, there
between
is.
like a kind of like if you go to
The
some like,
Daydream.
yeah, like if you go to Daydream or like amusement club, like there's a very kind of like clean type of sound. And then once we had gotten back together and you had like a new computer, it became like really like raw and like innovative all of a sudden. And it was a completely like new production style. So
Yeah, I think that was like a whole thing that I was looking for, like this whole time.
Yeah.
But I didn't have like the tools for make it. Even like my headphones were really bad, so all the sound and all the mix and stuff will come like from real bad headphones, and like will end up sounding somewhat good, fine, alright-ish. But then when I got like good headphones, I got like good computer, because also like my old computer will limit myself to explore in the project, because eventually we'll run out of memory and I will have to finish it like the way it is. And
Yeah.
then with my new computer, I was like exploring known limits, like
Yeah.
in terms of what your PC can do. And I was like really bored of making music the other way, so I will like move in. I also was going like phase of like in French house music and like all new disco and all that type of stuff. So I want to make more of that rather than keep making like future bass,
yeah,
which is fine. But I will
It
move
didn't
on.
sound fine. Didn't sound fine.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
it was like alright, but
Devin, you were saying that you were doing, like, you were basically taking the task of making some of the productions yourself while Nico was out of commission. Did you do anything to, because we had that situation happen with 6 too. It's not necessarily like, oh, my computer's down, but it's usually more like, oh, like we have conflicting schedules that don't allow us to work so close together. Did you do something to sort of mitigate how much of your influence dominated a song in that scenario? For example, when writing a song and I want Nico's influence on it, but I'm unable to, because we both use different DAWs, and I'm unable to, it's at like a super early state, and I'm unable to send him the project file, or like stemming out is like kind of tedious, and we just don't have time to sit down and organize doing that. I will just sample the shit out of Nico, and I will use his sounds a lot, and I will write with them to sort of get his identity in the song, but with my own writing. Did you do anything like that?
Yeah, so like I was mainly talking about the reel we put out while like we were gone for like 7 months or whatever.
Okay.
That was like mostly just stuff I had been working on for Curry Rice, for Nico, like if he wanted to later work on it. But for pretty much all of the Curry Rice songs, and we've talked about this on like Messenger, but all of them sort of had like a 70-30 split, and it would change like as to who the 70 was and who the 30 was. So like something like Body Pillow, which is the song we had, is called Body Pillow.
Yeah, Body Pillow.
but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. That one's cool. That's like 70% Nico, 30% me, I think.
Okay.
Whereas something like I guess like the Trackmaker remix, I guess that's more me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Actually, I felt like the sound of Curryrice was always like Devon will be the one providing the vibe a lot, and I will be the one providing rather the mixing and technical part. I feel like Devon always like bring the melody, the chorus, whatever,
yeah. I think at the
and
time
all
I had
the
like like the
Yes.
the like future based chops or whatever to
Yeah.
like have the melodies and like chord progressions and stuff like that. I
You
do
had the
think it was like
chops.
the chops. I think if it felt
Yeah.
a lot more like balanced earlier on. So when we were doing stuff like bubble soap and stuff like that, I think
Yeah.
it felt like a little more um there were like distinct sound design.
50-50.
Yeah. It felt more like 50-50. But I feel like I don't know, as it kept going, I think we hit a point where like we hit Room 101, which is like I'd say almost like 80%.
That's actually my favorite
Nico.
song by you guys. That's my
Yeah,
favorite song
that
by you
one's
guys.
cool. And it didn't do very well because it was like it was kind of hard.
It was like too weird, but there was like something like going on there that I was like a real fan of that song.
Yeah.
And then you have like Munger, it was like mostly Devon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we had
Then-
hit those two, and then it was like, I don't know. I personally went through the thing where I was like, well, I don't want it to be like, if the root of the duo is this kind of like future based melodic thing, I don't want it to turn into like Nico mixing my ideas.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I felt that was like a weird kind of balance. So I think that's when we started to peter off a bit. But I feel like earlier on when we were doing like the first, I'd say like 4 or 5 songs on Curryrice, that was when it felt, I think, at its most like 50-50.
Okay.
But I think it veered sort of
Yeah.
out.
Well,
Both
and then
ways.
that sort of like, because the other thing is that Curryrice ended around the time that like Six Impala started.
Yeah.
So the other thing that like maybe you guys were working out, I mean, A, the workload, because like working in multiple groups is a lot. But B, I think like towards the end, you were realizing more that like you guys both serve a role. And it sort of mirrors exactly how we function, right? Like each of us serves a role, and each of us have separate skill sets that like allow us to work together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, exactly.
like you and James and Devin, or sorry, you and James and Joa. You're already Devin. You and James and Joa are like, I can trust you guys to write melody. You guys will write a catchy ass melody, right? Where me and Nico are not that person. We're not the person to sit down and write a hook that's gonna like catch everybody. We're the type to try
Yeah, you
to
guys
come
have
up
this,
with
like,
some
sound
like
design and
yeah. We also have like a I think a big thing that Nico and I both share is our structure choices for our songs.
yeah.
Like how
yeah.
we'll just like outright ignore traditional structure formatting just to do something more interesting. And
Yeah.
that's actually where I see Nico shine through the most on songs on Curryrice, is when something is like breaking the structure in a way that's non-traditional. I can immediately be like, oh, this is Nico. That's why I could tell
Yeah.
like the
Room 101
101
is like a prime example of that.
yeah, because it breaks a bunch of different like barriers for structure and just kind of goes crazy. I really thought it was like an interesting dynamic, and I'm happy that we still get to explore that dynamic, but in like an expanded sense. Like you guys still get to work together. We still get to make cool, crazy music, but you're not stuck in that sort of identity anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's the music we're making now, like with Six, is like way closer. I think to like
Yeah.
I
It's, like, way
think
more
that's why
personal, too.
Yeah, like I think that's why Curryrice isn't why we're probably done with it, is because I feel like the stuff we're making now, because we're still collaborating like through Six. I think it's the stuff we're making now is way more like who we are than than who we were.
who
I
Curry
think.
Rice is.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing with Curry Rice that I see when I, like as an outsider looking in, rather, as an outsider that knows you two looking in, I see Curry Rice as like a project with its own identity, not a project that was your identities.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't feel like it was like it didn't feel like it was personal thing.
Yeah.
It felt like somewhat was like we were trying to make a character or like a third person.
Yeah, yeah.
And it eventually like feel weird because it was like Devin was told me a lot of stuff to work on, but I couldn't really work on them. Like I wouldn't really feel to work on them anymore, and I was feeling stressed because I also didn't want to end, a lot of
Yeah.
work randomly.
Yeah.
But at some point, I'm like glad it ended. Like we're done with it, rather than keep pushing it and keep putting out stuff just for the sake of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That
I
we're
think
not
things
really
definitely
happy.
need to end.
I think we had some pressure too, just because like, okay, so here's like, we didn't explain too much like what the songs were. So like we initially released like a remix of a You Know Me song, and it did like really well the first day, and the second day we got a SoundCloud message from somebody at Mad Decent that said they were starting a new like imprint label called Good Enough, and they wanted songs for it from
Oh
us.
yeah, good enough.
And we checked for a while to like make sure it was like a real
Yeah.
like email.
I remember when it popped
yeah,
up. It was a
remember
little
that.
sketchy.
This is like the second day, and it was like, there's no way that's real, and it was. So we released like I think 2 songs with them.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was 2 songs.
2 songs
was
with them.
one with Season and the other one.
Yeah, but I think like the success of that, like numbers wise, was something that I personally hadn't seen before. I think Nico had briefly when with like some of the like Getter stuff.
Yeah, but now with like such a like early project, such a young project.
Yeah, like right
yeah,
away.
nothing had
nowhere.
ever gone up
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that quick, I think, for either of us. So I think there was like an expectation that kind of burrowed in the back of our mind as we had gotten like further and further along, that like, oh, we can't lose momentum or whatever. And then when
Right.
we did, I think we were like struggling with being okay with it. And I think now it's like we're past it. And we've been past it, I think, for a bit. But like, I think there was
Yeah.
definitely that kind of, we imagined this kind of pressure just because it had done better than like anything had done for us before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it looked like super promising, Like it was doing well, and we had a lot of people that like really like our music and shit.
Yeah.
Not our music like specifically, but more like the vibe we were going for. And it was
So it's
like,
definitely like of the time on SoundCloud.
yeah.
Like there's
and
still
they
people
were-
who make stuff that are similar, but it's very
It's very 2016.
yeah.
Yeah. And they were not so biased with our single projects, but they were like really into Curryrice. So it was like feeling like we had to work rather on Curryrice than on main projects. And that kind of pressure like eventually got super stressing because we weren't coming up with anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for, like coming on and clarifying. And like we did this interview format. I think this is a fun one. And you know what? Idea, when you guys are in Toronto, we can officially, I would like to, I mean, like I know it's already technically officially over, but we can officially end curry rice on a curry rice dish.
I'm down.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
eat
I'm
curry
down for
rice, and it will be the official end.
Like
Of
the only
Curryrice.
show we'll ever been and the last one. as
Wait, no, not a
Curryrice.
show. Not a show.
Not a show, I mean like.
No, you're gonna eat the curry rice, and that's it. You're gonna go to the
Oh,
restaurant.
okay,
You're gonna
okay.
eat the curry. Yeah, that's it.
I've thought about
We're gonna
that,
sit
though.
down
Like,
at the restaurant.
do one curry rice show and then that's it.
We can bring them back. We can bring them back for fun flash sets.
Yeah.
The random curry rice. That'd be crazy. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We've actually been a little bit behind on the podcasts. That's because of Holiday season sort of took over, and we've been really hard at work on the next project. But we're gonna make it up by cranking out
podcast. Don't let him fool you.
There is a
corrupted podcast.
There is a corrupted podcast that we're literally about to
We were on
re-record
time.
right
We
now.
were on it. There's a corrupted.
No, we
podcast.
actually weren't on time. We were already late. We were already
Okay,
late.
so we were like almost there.
We're 3 podcasts. Like we need to put 3 podcasts out in January, and we are, and that's why I'm working on it. We're doing 3 podcasts in
Okay.
January. We're gonna crank them out back to back to back. So you're gonna get this one. You should get one. If I haven't set it up so that they're just like straight up, like one day after the other. They'll probably be separated by a week, but they'll be released close to each other. Thank you again for tuning in. This is Curry Rice, Devin, Nico, 6 Impala. You guys aren't even gonna say bye? You're just gonna let me sit here?
Bye. See ya, everyone. I love you guys.
All right, see you guys.